Well, Senator Chuck Grassley is demanding some answers about an FBI raid at the home of a Clinton whistleblower involved in Hillary Clinton's Uranium One scandal. Joining me now to talk about it is investigative reporter from the Daily Caller, Luke Rosiak. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Heather.
So the FBI agents, there were 16 of them. They went to the home of this whistleblower. His name was Dennis Kane. They spent about 6 hours there at his home. Whistleblowers are supposed to be protected by the government, you know, when they hand over information, which this person did to the government. Here are some of the senator's questions. Let's bring that up to begin with. He wants to know why Kane's house was raided, Dennis Kane, the whistleblower. Did the FBI know about Kane's discovery? Are the documents considered protected? Did the FBI seize any classified information? So what do you make of all this?
Well, this is really a quadruple whammy. First, you have the indication that the Clintons violated the law in relation to their foundation and Uranium One. Second, you have the fact that the FBI apparently knew about that or had strong evidence and did not act on it. Thirdly, you have Robert Mueller was head of the FBI at the time that this occurred, which obviously suggests bias now in his current role as special counsel. And then fourth, you have the retaliation against the whistleblower. You have the cover-up of the cover-up. So the FBI really has to now make this go away because it shows that they didn't act on stuff with the Clinton Foundation before. So the DOJ Inspector General, his job is to find wrongdoing by the FBI. And this guy had given the DOJ IG evidence. And so when the FBI now raids the guy that has evidence on potential misconduct by the FBI, that's classic whistleblower retaliation. And my colleague Richard Pollack, who broke this story, he has a new one up today where people on the right and the left are saying this is a really concerning abuse of the FBI's authority, clear whistleblower retaliation.
Who sent the FBI there to the home?
Well, the FBI presumably did the raid on their own, and they haven't. The judge hasn't disclosed the warrant. So the question is, did the FBI tell the judge that they knew this guy was a whistleblower, was a protected whistleblower, or was it kind of like when they were going after Trump's guys and they misled that FISA court to get the warrant? Because this guy followed the proper procedures. He gave the information to the IG, and there's a law that protects him in situations just like this. So when the FBI knocks on his door, that's pretty concerning stuff.
So the IG being Horowitz, who had all of this information.
Correct. And then Horowitz gave it to the Senate and House Intelligence Committees as well.
So then would he still have had evidence at his home?
I believe when they knocked on his door, he said, I do have a copy, and here it is. So he was very forthright with the FBI when they showed up, and then they still searched his house. But interestingly, they didn't charge him. So why did you do the raid if you weren't going to arrest the guy? And that's just one more reason. This guy, he doesn't know what's going on. They haven't told him what's up. There's no arrest. But, you know, it really highlights Mueller's role. It reminds people that Mueller was in charge of the FBI, and there's a certain element of the special counsel probe that tends to implicate either the FBI or Trump. And so Mueller is kind of conflicted. This is a reminder that if Mueller doesn't find problems with the Trump campaign, it's basically an acknowledgement that when they were wiretapping Carter Page and when Peter Strzok was doing what he did with Hillary Clinton investigation, making that thing go away, I mean, one or the other had problems. So Mueller is part of this FBI crew, and a lot of people, they don't want to make findings against their buddies.
What if the Mueller investigation is finding problems with the Clinton campaign such that Mueller can't cover it up at this point? So he sends these FBI agents back out to this whistleblower house, and maybe now the information that's going to come forward is information that should have come forward years ago.
Absolutely, and remember, the Republicans on Capitol Hill have these documents now, as does the DOJ IG. So this is, in one sense, even though this is already such a fascinating story, this is just the first part because we still don't know what the documents show themselves. And that's going to be really interesting to know what exactly the Clinton Foundation allegedly did, and same with Uranium One. And if we don't find that out, I think we want to know. I mean, declassify this stuff. Why aren't the Republicans on Capitol Hill telling us? Because we should ultimately know what these documents that the whistleblower are. And so far, we haven't learned that.
Yeah, and we don't know what a lot of this redacted information is either coming out in these Mueller memos, more of which are expected to come out possibly on Friday. Luke, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Heather.